So guys, you're out and about and you need some paracord. You've not got your bag with you. What are you going to do? Here's how to make a paracord bracelet. To start with, you're going to need a plastic buckle like the one shown here. You can get them as cheap as chips on eBay. Next, some paracord. You need round about 1 foot of paracord for every 1 inch of bracelet that you make. And finally, you're going to need some scissors and a lighter. Oh, and let's not forget, you'll also need a tape measure for measuring your wrist and the bracelet. So to start with, take the tape measure and measure your wrist. Measure it nice and tight at the point where you want the bracelet to sit. As you can see from this, my wrist is 7 inches. Next, take your paracord in the colour that you've chosen for your bracelet and open it up. Find both ends of your paracord and squeeze them together. Now work your way down the paracord to find the exact middle of that length of paracord and hold it in a loop like so. Now take your loop and push it through the top of one end of your fastening clip, creating a loop at the bottom. Then through that loop pull the rest of the paracord as shown here, and then finally cinch it all down nice and tight so that it meets the fastening clip. Give it a slight wiggle to make sure it's nice and tight, and there you have it. So the next job is to take the other ends of the paracord and poke those through the top of the other part of your fastening clip. Feed that all the way through, like shown, to bring it down to the right length for your bracelet. You can check this with your measuring tape. Now using your measuring tape, measure the bracelet to 1 inch bigger than the size of your wrist. So in this case, I need the bracelet to be 8 inches because my wrist measured at 7 inches. So this is the point where we can start tying the knots. Lie your paracord bracelet out flat and take one of your running ends to the left and the other one to the right. Take the left hand side and bring it over the top of your bracelet, creating a loop on the left hand side. With the right hand string, take that over the top of that string you've just taken over and bring the rest of the paracord underneath your bracelet and poke it up through the loop that you've just created. Just like that. Pull it all through and now cinch it down nice and tight, but be really careful at this point because the first couple of knots is important. This is where the bracelet can move, stretch and change size, so do it nice and gently to start with. So nice and gentle final adjustments to make sure that it's all cinched down nice and tight and it's still nice and straight with even pull on both of your strands. Now we're going to do the reverse of what we've just done. So take your right hand cord and lay it over the top of the bracelet, creating a loop on the right hand side this time. Now take your left hand cord and do the same as what you did previously. Take it over the top of that cord that's gone over and then take the lot underneath the bracelet, poke it up through the new loop that you created and pull it all through. Again, being really delicate at this point, cinch it all down nice and tight. So just fine adjustments and pull it all nice and tight to keep the knot looking nice and tidy. So now guys, we just repeat the process over and over again, starting from the left again with the loop. Right hand side comes over, under the bracelet and through that loop. And as you can see, we can now work this process a bit quicker than before because the bracelet is now quite solid. What I would do at this point is take the time to remeasure and make sure that I've not changed the shape or size of the bracelet whilst doing those first couple of knots. Now, let's do it quickly. So guys, we're nearly there now. Just room for another 1 or 2 knots maybe. So we'll put those in so that we leave no gap between the knot and the actual second buckle that's working down towards. Remember to cinch each knot up nice and tight as we go. Once that's done, pull it nice and tight. Paracord will grip onto itself nicely. And then, as you can see, there's no gap left for any other knots. So let's cut off the excess ends, starting with the top one. Using our lighter, just melt the top of the end of the exposed paracord, and whilst it's hot, push it flat with the lighter. And what this does is it gives it a flat side, and it just holds it in place so that it doesn't slip through and start unraveling itself. Same again on the other strand. Heat it up, and whilst it's nice and hot, push it flat with the lighter as with the other side. And there we go, guys, one finished paracord bracelet that you've made yourself. And wherever you go now, you've got 8 foot of paracord available to you.